Hello, it is good to be with you on this edition of News Extra, the program that gives you the news with an extra touch to the stories. Tonight, the Federal Executive Council sat, and it would interest you to know the number of cheering news emanating from the high-level meeting. One of such is the cushioning effect that has come handy ahead of the subsidy removal, which is just 2 months away. You should hear the details from the Finance Minister. ICT is on the upswing mode with the inauguration of the Council for Digital Innovation by Mr. President. The mining sector also has something to celebrate in that regard. Post-insurgency, find out the latest move by Borno State government. If you are conversant with the saying that the best things in life are free, then how well do you observe sleep? Any idea of its link with brain health? Be part of our offering on health for this and other well-put-together health stories. TED Fund breaks grounds with the disbursement of allocations to institutions like never before. It is indeed better times for members of the academia. How have you ever in any way fallen victim of land racketeering in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory? Well, don't miss out as we shine our spotlight on the issue. What happens when the rains come too early? I guess those in the farming business would find it worthy conversation that we have for you. Though we also do have something for lovers of wrestling as a sport, courtesy of ECOWAS and other trending stories from the sporting arena. And of course, business. That's not all. Well, it is News Extra, so let me not reveal more, but rather just get on it. After all, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. I'm Fatima Umar Buba, and this is News Extra. You're welcome. The federal government has secured $800 million from the World Bank to provide palliatives to deserving Nigerians ahead of the removal of petrol subsidy in June this year. Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed announced this while addressing newsmen after the meeting of the Federal Executive Council. State House correspondent Adam Sambo reports.
This is a commitment in the petroleum industry bill. There's a provision that says that 18 months after the effectiveness of the PIA, that all petroleum products must be deregulated. That 18 months takes us to June 2023.
Nigeria, the minister said, is on course towards exiting fuel subsidy as provisions have already been made in both the Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and the 2023 Appropriations Act.
We've secured some funding, $800 million for the scale-up of the National Social Investment Program at the World Bank that will enable us to give cash transfers to the most vulnerable in our society that have now been registered in a national social register. Today, that register has a list of 10 million households. 10 million households is equivalent to about 50 million Nigerians.
She said wide-ranging negotiations are underway towards the deployment of non-cash palliatives such as mass transit system for workers, daily commute, and members of the transition committee of the incoming government are involved in the discussions. Zainab Ahmed also gives update on plans to establish nutrition departments in relevant ministries and agencies of government.
It's to encourage healthy nutrition practices within the polity to improve the health of our children. Once a child is stunted, then they become disadvantaged for life. They can't learn properly, they will not grow properly, and there's attendant consequences of underproduction when they become an adult and cannot contribute well to the growth of the economy. So we believe an investment in nutrition is actually a human capital investment that has positive returns on the economy at the end of the day.
Meanwhile, the minister has secured the approval of 18.3 billion naira for the construction of barracks for the Nigeria Customs Service at Aviation Village in Abuja. 16.1 billion naira is also to be expended for the purchase of 210 units of residential accommodation for the service in the same area.
Federal Executive Council also approved the procurement of 192 motor vehicles for the operations and administrative use of the Nigerian Customs Service in the total sum of 9.649 billion naira.
Another contract that was approved for the NPC, National Population Commission, is contract for the development and the implementation of mobile device management solution for the personal digital assistance devices to be used for the 2023 population census. This is in the sum of about 4.4 billion naira.
Malam Garba Shehu said about 11 billion naira ICT component contract has similarly been approved for the commission in support of the forthcoming national headcount. EFCC also got 3.3 billion naira approval for the provision of infrastructure at its new training academy, while 19 operational vehicles are to be acquired for the Nigeria Post Authority at about 1 billion naira. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the National Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship, established to guide the implementation of the Nigeria Startup Act 2022, has been inaugurated. President Muhammadu Buhari, who performed the ceremony, described the governance structure as critical towards consolidating the gains achieved by Nigeria's digital economy sector and making the country a global talent factory. State House correspondent Adam Sambo again has that.
The 14-member National Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship, chaired by the President, will amongst others ensure that government agencies, entrepreneurs and investors support efforts at achieving the goals of promoting the growth of a vibrant and sustainable startup ecosystem in Nigeria.
The Nigerian Startup Act 2022 is a testament to the vision and commitment of our administration to harness the potential of Nigeria's young and innovative population who have demonstrated their ingenuity, creativity, and entrepreneurship spirit in creating innovative solutions to the challenges we face as a nation and as a continent.
The Act provides incentives and support for startups such as tax holidays, access to funding, ease of doing business, intellectual property protection, and participation in public procurement.
I hereby direct the Secretariat to ensure faithful implementation of the Nigeria Startup Act 2022. Implementation of the Act will lead to consolidation and further development of the gains recorded by Nigeria's digital economy. In the last 4 years, in the areas of contribution to GDP and increased revenue generation, amongst others. I wish members of the National Council a successful and productive engagements in harnessing our youth talents and uplifting our country's economy to new heights.
Records show that Nigeria has been at the forefront of the remarkable growth achieved by the startup ecosystem in Africa. The nation's startups account for over $4 billion out of the record $5.4 billion raised in Africa between 2019 and 2022.
Year in, year out, this administration has been setting new records when it comes to ICT contribution to GDP. A recent evaluation indicated that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari has increased revenue generation from the digital economy sector from 51 billion to 408 billion, an increase of 594%. This is indeed commendable, and I believe that the council to be inaugurated here is going to consolidate the achievements and the gains we have recorded so far.
Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, who used the opportunity to highlight other milestones achieved by Nigeria's digital economy sector, said the country is clearly migrating to knowledge-based economy and commended President Buhari for his unprecedented support in providing the enabling environment.
In Africa, as at February 2023, we had 7 unicorns. Unicorn is a company with a valuation of a minimum of $1 billion USD. Out of these 7 unicorns, 4 of them originated from Nigeria. The market value of 7 of them combined was 11.45 billion. 4 from Nigeria contributed 7.5 billion from that total amount. This is a clear indication and a success story of this administration.
The minister is under instruction by the president to convene the council's meeting next month in furtherance of efforts at ensuring the successful implementation of the Nigeria Startup Act. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Still with the State House, the Federal Executive Council has approved the amendment of the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Act towards ensuring growth and investment in the nation's mining sector. Consequently, a new draft bill is to be soon forwarded to the National Assembly for consideration and possible approval in the interest of the economy. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the report.
Minister of Mines and Steel Development Olamilekong Adebite, who presented a memo to that effect, told the council that the current mining laws do not conform to the modern-day reality of global best practices and by implication hampers the growth and development of the mining industry. The development of the sector, he said, is an important component of the nation's economic policy.
The law we are operating on now is 2007 Nigerian Minerals and Mining Law. It has become obsolete. A lot of new things have come up in mining. There's renewed focus. Everybody is coming there. And as expressed today, is a new frontier for economic growth in Nigeria. So we need to update the law to in line with modern realities.
Works and Housing Minister Babatunde Fashola presented 3 projects and contracts memoranda to the council. The first was in respect of the conversion of the ministry's paper records, files, and memos into digital format at 916.8 million naira.
The second is to augment the contract price from 38 billion to 74.649 billion for the construction of the Kaduna Eastern Bypass. That's a very critical road that connects Kaduna and I think like about 11 other states in the country.
And the third contract approved was under the tax credit scheme covered by the Executive Order 7 issued by President Muhammadu Buhari to allow the private sector to invest in public infrastructure, especially roads, by spending their taxes in advance.
In this case, we approved 4 roads, all of them in Kwara State, Bodesadu, Kayama, Koshubu Road, Lafiagi, Shonga, Bachita Road, Eyen, Kori, Afon, Ojoku, Ofa Road, and Ukuta, Kenu, Tebe Road. The total is a distance of 283.938 kilometers. The approval was for Mrs. Bua International Limited.
The Minister of Labour and Employment also secured approval for a revised regulation in respect of what the ministry calls woodworking machinery and the entire ecosystem.
And his other approval is on policy on HIV/AIDS. And basically this is to guarantee personal human rights of people with HIV in workplaces. They are not discriminated against and they are given equal rights.
In all, 14 memoranda from ministries, departments and agencies were considered and approved at the council meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
So legislative matters now. The Senate has continued with its interventions in Nigeria's solid mineral sector. This time, it has passed the bill that seeks to establish the Nigerian Minerals Development Corporation. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Umar has more on this and other proceedings at Wednesday's plenary.
The Nigerian solid mineral sector losing billions of dollars daily to these illegal miners. Senate, in its wisdom, decided to intervene through the establishment of an agency that will check this illegality and establish a development fund for the sector. The bill, sponsored by the Chairman, Senate Committee on Solid Minerals, Senator Umar Makura, has been passed.
Will unbundle the solid mineral sector to enhance more purposeful execution of the upstream, midstream, and downstream sectors in order to facilitate participation by major investors.
Very significant and important legislation that will support our mining sector. The mining sector in Nigeria is supposed to contribute as much as probably 30% of our GDP.
The Information and Communication Technology INSU Ehime Mbano Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Frank Ibezim, also passed, while the Federal Capital Territory Sports Commission Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Philip Aduda, the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission Act Repeal and Reenactment Bill by Senator Lubumi Adetumbi, passed second reading.
With this, the establishment of the FCT Sports Commission will ensure a rapid development of sports in the FCT.
This bill further seeks to, among other things, establish a holistic framework for monitoring, evaluating, and enforcing effective mobilization of government revenues for economic recovery.
The institution of sanctions will act as deterrent to some of these revenue-generating agencies. So on the whole, the leakages is so much and so enormous, and the federal government is losing a lot of money on a daily basis.
Ahmed Walama, Fatima Kiari, and Benga Adebayo were confirmed as members of the Universal Service Provision Board, while that of Funke Opeke was stepped down because she did not appear for the screening.
Engineer Funke Opeke should be given the opportunity to appear for her screening immediately she returns to Nigeria.
Senate condemned bandit attack in Osa and Takum communities in Taraba South and called on the National Emergency Management Agency to provide relief materials to victims, as moved by Senator Emmanuel Buacha.
The loss of lives from my constituents in the local government of Osa and Takum from Taraba South. To reach out to these communities because there are displaced ones in thousands that have left their communities and are running for cover, that the NEMA will reach out to them.
Senate has adjourned to Tuesday, the 25th of April, 2023 for Easter and Salah break. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Well, thank you so much, Ignatius. Let's take some time out at this point. Hang in there for our next set of stories.
Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. Your turn.
With Glow, bonus no dey finish. Buy a Glow SIM and enjoy 10 times airtime bonus on top every recharge, plus double data bonus on all data plans.
شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن.
Nigeria Television Authority, NTA, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, Voice of Nigeria, VON, and National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, cordially invite the general public to its 17th annual Ramadan lecture. Topic: Divorce in Islam and its consequences. Guest lecturer: Associate Professor Bashir Aliyu Umar, Chief Imam, Al-Furqan Jumaat Mosque, Kano State. Chairman of the occasion: Makaman Ringim, Hakimin Kanya Babba, Malam Muhammad Ibrahim, former Director General, NTA, FRCN. Royal Father of the Day, His Highness Ambassador Ahmed Nuhu Bammali, Emir of Zazzau. Chief Host, His Excellency Malan Nasir Ahmed El Rufai, the Executive Governor, Kaduna State. Hosts, Salihu Abdul Hamid Dembos, Director General, NTA. Dr. Mansur Liman, Director General, FRCN. Mr. Osita Okechukwu, Director General, Voice of Nigeria. Malam Balarabe Shehu Illaila, Director General, NBC. Venue, Lumana Multipurpose Center, River Close, off Jabi Road East, off Sultan Road, Kaduna. Date, 8th April 2023. Time, 9 a.m. Inshallah. Announcer, Organizing Committee.
friend, let me see your bill. What is this in your bill?
Oh, that. It's gift ship fully paid.
Are you an enrollee?
I mean, are you registered under the Group Individual Family Social Health Insurance Program?
Gift ship. Gift ship. What is gift ship? Tell me about it.
GiftShip is a group individual and family social health insurance program. Now, the health insurance is mandatory for every Nigerian. GiftShip allows artisans, traders, farmers, mechanics, business owners, taxi drivers, even keke riders benefit from a range of medical surgeries, medical tests, scans at any preferred NHIA accredited hospital in Nigeria. To enroll, an individual contributes only 45,000 naira per annum. For a family of 3, 45,000 naira per annum. Group of 10 persons and above, 15,000 naira a person per annum. This amount is renewable every year.
GiftShip moves, leaving no one behind.
Aisha, how do you holler for me for food? I go pay you. Aisha, wait first. Somebody to call me first. Igwe, don't worry, I go pay. Hey, Igwe, wait first. My second phone will go. So me, I know they dodge you.
How you gonna take pay?
Don't worry, money na money.
Money na money.
My country people, whether you want pay money or you want collect, different options don't dey ground now. If cash no dey available, you fit use USSD transfer, mobile app, internet banking day, QR code day, e-naira day, POS day, ATM day, iyapa. If you no get account, enter the bank where they near you. Make they open them for you. Make we no panic, because last, all of us go do alright.
Guy, make a transfer.
Money now.
Confirm.
This message now from Bankers Committee.
The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has been inundated with inquiries by the media on allegations of telephone tracking and leakage made against the Commission by some individuals and groups in the social and alternative media. The Commission wishes to make the following clarification. The Commission denies the allegations in their entirety by the provisions of the Nigerian Communications Act, NTA 2003, and other extant laws of the Federation. The Commission does not and cannot track or leak telephone conversations of anyone. The Commission has reported the allegations, which we take seriously, to relevant security agencies for proper investigation and necessary action. The Commission restates its commitment to discharge its responsibilities to the Nigerian people in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the NCA 2003, and other extant laws of the Federation and global best practices. For the avoidance of doubt, the Commission denies these allegations and advises the public to disregard them. Signed, Ruben Moka, Director, Public Affairs, NCC.
Metro Digital Satellite TV has arrived. You can now watch all your favorite football leagues, including Premier League, Champions League, La Liga, and others. We have wrestling, movies, news, documentary, and general entertainment. Over 45 HD channels. All these for only 5,000 naira monthly. Call or visit our website to find a dealer near you.
Great to have you back. President Muhammadu Buhari says he looks forward to a retirement in Daura Katsina State after handing over on May 29, reiterating that he will be as far away from Abuja as possible. This was during a farewell visit to the president by the outgoing British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Her Excellency Catriona Wendy Lang. State House correspondent Gideon Nufade reports that the president also granted audience to Benue State Governor-elect Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia.
It is the end of 4.5 years tour of duty in Nigeria, and the outgoing British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Catriona Wendy Lang, says she is fascinated by Nigeria, particularly the music, dance and culture, stating that she had a fabulous time here in Nigeria and hopes to return someday. She congratulates President Muhammadu Buhari for very successful 8 years in office, saying he had done very well to hold the country together. President Muhammadu Buhari says the United Kingdom was second home for many Nigerians, and relations between the two countries will continue to wax strong. The president lauds United Kingdom for cooperation on many fronts, particularly in the rebuilding of the Northeast, hitherto ravaged by insurgency. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated the Benue State Governor-elect, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, and the people of the state for their choice. This was when the president received Reverend Alia
who was on a thank you visit to the State House. The Benue State Governor-elect presented a certificate of return to elected President Muhammadu Buhari, who congratulated him for the victory at the polls. The president describes this as victory for democracy. Thereafter, President Muhammadu Buhari and his guests went into a closed-door meeting.
Benue is very capable of feeding the whole nation, so we are not just the food basket of the nation by name. And I'm hoping that we would up our game in agriculture and take care of the rest as well. It's sad that the life of civil service in the state is near collapse. It's in the ICU. So I just need to get in there and infuse life in it and keep us moving.
Reverend Father Ascent Alia was accompanied by former governor of the state, Senator George Akume. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And President Muhammadu Buhari is committed to far-reaching overhaul of Nigeria's foreign service as a lasting legacy of his administration. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Bas Mustafa, stated this while receiving the report of the Committee on Review of the Number of Strategy of Nigeria's Foreign Missions Worldwide. He pledged implementation of the committee's recommendations. Tertiary has the report.
The need to revitalize Nigeria's foreign service led to the setting up of this committee to review the number of the country's diplomatic missions last October. After 32 meetings of strategic interactions with experts, review of previous relevant reports, administration of questionnaires to all Nigerian diplomatic missions, out of which 21 were physically visited, the committee has come up with a report of 115 recommendations.
We want to once again especially thank His Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari. It will always be on record in the history of our great country, Nigeria, and in honor of his legacy, that whatever positive developments emerge from this exercise is the brainchild of a visionary leader.
Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Bas Mustafa, says it is government's desire to holistically address the multifaceted challenges confronting Nigeria's diplomatic missions around the world.
I can assure you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, that this report will also form part of the transition documents to be handed over to the next government.
The report, he says, will be forwarded to Mr. President for his endorsement and subsequent implementation. In Abuja, Tertiary, NTA News.
And in tune with the fact that security is a collective responsibility, the National Assembly is transmitting to the President for assent the Constitution Alteration Bill 47 that will enable the establishment of a State's Security Council. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The Constitution Alteration Bill 47 seeks amendments of Section 197 of the 1999 Constitution to add establishments of State Security Council to the section. When established, the council shall have the state governor as chairman. Its function will include to provide advice on matters of public security and on organizations and agencies established by law for ensuring security. The latest passage of the Constitution amendments by Oyo and Zamfara State Houses of Assembly enabled its compliance with the Authentication Act and other provisions. House members urged State Houses of Assembly to be proactive in passing constitution alteration bills for good governance.
House of Assembly that are yet to forward their resolutions on the bills to do so in fulfillment of their constitutionally imposed legislative obligations to the Constitution amendment process.
If we are not able to establish state police, Mr. Speaker, let us do the minimum and have a body that is recognized by law that can deal with matters of security. Some responsibilities that ordinarily would be discharged at the state level, they begin to look for a federal nomenclature to deal with it.
On other areas, for example,
the alteration that has to do with local government autonomy. There could be deciding factors, and it's my plea and appeal. I will join him to appeal to those states to also act. And it will not be out of sight, out of order for us who are coming from those states to again appeal to those states to consider some of the bills that are before them.
Plenary featured second reading of bill to repeal and enact Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporations Act, bill to repeal and enact Weights and Measures Act, and 4 other bills.
The NDIC is saddled with the responsibility of carrying out some public policy objectives, which includes protecting bank depositors by providing an orderly means of compensation in the event of failure.
Weights and measures affect just everywhere, everybody. You go and buy fuel, go and buy LPG. Weights and measures are there, but they are not being done the proper way that they should be done.
Reports on 10 bills were considered and approved. One of the bills seeks to amend the Court of Appeal Act to increase the number of justices of the court from 90 to 110 and to make provision for virtual court proceedings. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Still with the National Assembly, members of a newly formed coalition of House of Representatives members-elect from the opposition political parties have expressed their commitment to a united 10th National Assembly that would be vibrant for a better Nigeria. This came to the fore at the inaugural meeting of the Minority Caucus held in Abuja. Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports.
This is the slogan of the Minority Caucus, who are meeting for the first time as House of Representatives members-elect from 7 different political parties. These include the PDP, NNPP, LP, ADC, YPP, ABGA, and the SDP.
We want to ensure that the minorities come together, strengthen and deepen democracy.
Ensure that every bill that will change the life of the common man get the light of the day in the assembly.
I believe that with our numbers, with our strength, and with our doggedness to achieve our common goal and purpose, which is to provide leadership within the National Assembly that will protect our democratic values.
It is true that our brothers from PDP, they have greater number. But I like the spirit. They are carrying every other members of other political parties along.
Opposition members-elect unanimously agreed to work together with the executive arm of government to ensure equity and fairness in the discharge of the national mandate. In Abuja, Mohammed Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Washington, D.C. now, where Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has maintained that the delay in uploading the February 25th election results was due to technical glitches experienced by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Anthony Forson reports that the minister restated this in Washington, D.C. shortly after one of his engagements.
The delay, the Information and Culture Minister explains.
During the elections, there was a technical glitch. Because of technical glitch, INEC, to protect the sanctity of the data, suspended uploading the results and immediately set up a technical team to look into what went wrong and simultaneously floated another alternative platform.
On a report by an online publication quoting the minister to have said the delay by INEC to upload the results was deliberate, Lai Mohammed said,
"Of course, Premium Times must have an agenda. They inserted the word deliberately, omitted the phrase that it was in order to protect the sanctity of the data, and made it look like INEC just deliberately, suspended, refused to upload results of INEC. And honestly, I've always said it. If this irresponsible journalism would not cause war in Nigeria, we'll be very lucky.
He, however, called on the Nigerian media to embrace professional and honest ethical conduct. In Washington, D.C., Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Back home, the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory FCT has restrained the national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, National Secretary Farouk Ibrahim and 2 others from parading themselves as national officers of the party. The presiding judge, Justice Hamza Muazu, gave the restraining order in Abuja while ruling in ex parte application argued by James Ogu Onoja, SAN, on behalf of the applicants. Others stopped from parading themselves as national officers are the National Organizing Secretary, Clement Ojukwu, and 1 other. The counsel to the applicant informed the court how the restrained national officers allegedly forged several documents of the High Court of the FCT to carry out unlawful substitutions in the last general elections. The documents allegedly forged were the receipts, seal, and affidavits of the court to carry out criminal activities. And the passenger who caused public nuisance aboard the Abuja-Lagos flight, Obiaju Lu Oja, has been arraigned before the magistrate court in Zuba. Oja allegedly disrupted the takeoff of an Ibom Air flight from Abuja to Lagos on March 31, 2023. Oja was carried off a Lagos-Abuja flight after he started a lone protest, allegedly demanding that the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu must never be sworn in as president on May 29. The defendant is being tried for public nuisance, resistance to a lawful arrest, threatening violence, and conduct likely to cause a breach of peace. The magistrate ordered that Oja should be remanded in the prison custody. Away from that now, the 2023 general elections have come and gone, except in 2 states and few constituencies where the exercise has been reviewed. However, the protest for and against the outcome of the presidential election that produced Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the All Progressives as the winner is no doubt putting to test the spirit of patriotism, sportsmanship, and national unity. Political correspondent Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara in this special report sought the opinion of Nigerians on the role of citizens, particularly political gladiators, and the collective build of the country's democracy.
Great nations all over the world are built by the citizens, at least by providing a conducive atmosphere. Nigeria has remained top on the continent as a reference point, being a giant with at least 24 years of uninterrupted democracy. Interestingly, the current Fourth Republic still parades veterans who actively participated in the struggle for the present-day democracy and at the same time participated in the aborted First, Second, and even Third Republics. Analysts say from 1999 to date, Nigeria has showcased human capacity with democratic ideals that impacted in driving democracy to its present destination. The 2023 election is the 7th in the series of general elections that have given multiple political parties opportunities to rule at different tiers of government. The exercise, like any contest, has produced winners and losers. Some people say today's loser might be the winner tomorrow, and as such, the popular saying that he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day comes handy.
You don't build democracy overnight. It's a process all over the world that is evolving. For anybody to expect democracy to nurture and mature within a period of few years is a mere daydreamer.
As Nigeria's democracy evolves, so also are the characters of the actors. For instance, what seems to be the latest trend dominating post-election activities are protests and counter-protests in some cities, including the nation's capital, Abuja.
This is a government that supports democracy. We call on everybody, whether the young people who are hot, or our party who is hot, or PDP who is hot, or Labour or NMPP or 18 parties to let us be patriotic again. The elections are over. The elections are still in process in court again. Please, give Nigeria a chance to grow.
This is making many to ask questions about the true spirit of sportsmanship and patriotism.
When you are selfish, you can even be selfish to your own self. It is selfish. It is not lack of patriotism. It's selfish. You lose, you say you must win. Is it by force?
Patriotism, as I said, is something that you can give the best of you to the country. Not looking at what will suit your own interest or taking advantage of the vulnerability of Nigerians.
Still fresh in the minds of Nigerians is the history that was made by former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who as an incumbent president contested and lost, but decided to pay special concern for the well-being of the country and demonstrated willingness and sacrifice to promote the country's good by calling and congratulating the winner, President Muhammadu Buhari. In the absence of congratulatory messages to the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu from his fellow contestants at the end of the 2023 presidential election, Nigerians are advocating for a peaceful transition with the rule of law prevailing in matters arising from the conduct of the elections.
But since they have waited until the election and the result has been given, I think they should be patriotic enough to make sure the country moves forward.
The unity of Nigeria, others strongly believe, is more important than the individual ambitions of the citizens. In Abuja, Saliu Gonara, NTA News.
Said Salihu. Now, the federal government has declared Friday 7th and Monday 10th April 2023 as public holidays to mark this year's Easter celebration. In a statement, the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, urges Christians to emulate the virtues of sacrifice, togetherness, forgiveness, love, peace, and patience as exemplified by Jesus Christ. The minister assures Nigerians of a peaceful transition as the country is on the path of greatness, wishing all Christians a blissful Easter and all Nigerians a happy holiday. And towards ensuring a safe and smooth 2023 Easter celebrations, the Corps Marshal of Federal Road Safety Corps, Dauda Alibiu, has tasked commanding officers to ensure full deployment of staff for maximum visibility, prompt removal of obstructions, and ease of movement on all highways across the nation. A statement from the Corps indicates that the directive is in line with the operational guidelines of this year's special patrol scheduled to commence from 6th to 12th April 2023. The statement further says the objectives of the special operations are reduction in road traffic crashes, road traffic fatalities, and road traffic injuries, prompt response to road traffic crash victims, unhindered engagements in purposeful public education and enlightenment, and speedy removal of obstructions from the highways are also part of the objectives of the exercise. To religious matters now, religion, we are told, is the opium of the people. Opium, we know, is the substance that intoxicates and causes all kinds of misnomals. No wonder a renowned Islamic scholar, Sheikh Dahiru Bauchi, is calling on Nigerians not to sacrifice the unity and peaceful coexistence of the nation on the altar of religious sentiments. He couldn't have made this appeal at a better time and place than when he hosted a former Minister of Sports and Youth Development, Solomon Dalong, and a Christian cleric, Pastor Yohana Buru, to break the Ramadan fast in Kaduna. Dr. Mohammed reports.
Ramadan is a sacred month in which Muslims devote themselves to fasting and prayers for blessings from the Almighty Allah. In promoting religious harmony, Christian leaders joined their Muslim brothers to observe Iftar despite their differences. Former Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Solomon Dalong, and a Kaduna-based cleric, Pastor Yohana Buru, who have been sharing the bond during Ramadan with Sheikh Dahiru Bauchi, say the gesture is aimed at fostering religious tolerance, love, unity, and peaceful coexistence among both faiths, as well as unifying the society.
We also want him, as a father,
to send a strong message of peace to Nigerians on the need to live in peace and harmony despite our differences.
Praying that Christians and Muslims understand themselves, live in peace and harmony with one another. Wherever Christians might have offended Muslims in this country and the world at large, or Muslims might have offended Christians in this country and the world at large, please let us find a place in our heart to forgive one another and live in peace and harmony.
Sheikh Dahiru Bauchi said, for Nigeria to develop, adherents of the two major religions must unite and work together. The breaking of the fast ended with pleasantries between the leaders of the different religions, with special prayers for the peace and development of the country. Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
After the rain comes the sunshine. After the storm comes the calm. There is light at the end of the tunnel. These and many more are popular adages employed when bad situations turn for the better. In Nigeria's northeast, especially Borno State, these adages are applicable as the state comes out of a terrorist stranglehold, or let's say strange hold. It is to sustain this recovery that the Borno State Governor, Babagana Umar has paid another round of assessment visit to Malam Fatori, headquarters of Abadam local government area, a former Boko Haram stronghold along the shores of the Lake Chad. Reconstruction and assessment are coming ahead of planned voluntary repatriation of refugees from Niger Republic. Maimuna Garba has that.
Fatori in northern Borno is yet to be fully reoccupied since Boko Haram violently took over the town in 2014, forcing residents and nearby communities to flee to Niger Republic. The military dislodged the insurgent, leading to voluntary resettlement of residents who were again displaced by flood last year. Governor Zulum had visited Malam Fatori a couple of times, first to commence reconstruction and other times to supervise ongoing works.
My main objective is to see how we can return back people to this town. This town was re-established about a year ago, but unfortunately because of flooding that has happened last year, coupled with minor insecurity issues, the town was redisplaced again. We are here now to examine the situation and then look into the possibility of returning back the people to their ancestral homes.
The governor announced his approval for the release of armored personnel carriers, patrol vehicles and some security gadgets for soldiers, noting that the support is to strengthen the military's capacity to increase their effectiveness in the fight against insurgents, and commended the officers and men of 68th Battalion, Malam Fatori, for their bravery and professionalism in discharging their duties. The governor, who is targeting May for resettlement of the refugees, called on the people to be resilient and give maximum cooperation to the security operatives working to restore normalcy. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Interesting one from there. Still in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital is known for so many things, and they are a mixed grill, from the good to the not so good. Now, one noticeable phenomenon a first-time visitor to the expansive city of Maiduguri cannot help but notice is Dandal. Yes, that is the Kanuri name for the square, strategically located in front of the majestic palace of the Shehu of Borno. Let's now join Kaigama Mustafa as he tells us all about this royal venue that is as old as the emirate itself.
Decades every evening, this expansive playground in the heart of Maiduguri has served and is still serving as an avenue where dozens of youths in Maiduguri come to dissipate their energy by playing some games, notably football.
The show has been supporting us with supporting materials such as ball and jersey.
Prominent people in Maiduguri and its fringes, like the immediate first chauffeur Mustafa Umar El-Kanemi, the incumbent chauffeur Borno Abubakar Ibn Umar Garbai Al-Amin El-Kanemi, were once regular here.
It's usually a first-time affair because young boys between the ages of 15 to 25 and up to 30 used to play football from morning till evening, especially when their schools are on vacations. In the case of the pioneer superior football teams, Black Stars used to engage in football match with Bauchi Winti within the Northeast region. And then young stars sometimes used to play with Gombe United. And then when the Challenge Cup comes,
gathering square of all activities during Salah, and in the olden days,
all the flag bearers mount their horse and their regimental commanders and all soldiers will come to the Dandal, and then from here they will be addressed.
Dandal Kura, it means the open space what they've chose, or when you go to the district heads, space. So, and that space, nobody has that kind of space except the two places. This is a space where any form of a gathering is being, conducted.
For instance, during the annual Muslim religious festival of Salah, the Sheikh of Borno, who is the religious leader of Kano Borno Empire, usually addresses his people, which features daba or horse racing and other religious events. History has is that in the 1950s, there were local sporting activities played by the prince and children of the neighborhood before football became the dominant sport. It might interest the viewers to know that the Sheikh himself, who at the time of his youth was a regular star here, still have time to watch the future adults engage in one energy-sapping sport or the other at this arena. In Maiduguri, Kaigama Mustafa, NTA News.
Well, I tell you, Kaigawa, this brings a whole lot of memories back to me because during Salah, we normally converge there and celebrate, dance and eat. Well, thank you so much for that. Now, religious harmony and peace building hold sway in our next segment. Stay with us as we have something ahead that will get you to start taking care of your brain health. Please stay.
From the 3rd of May to 7th of May 2023,
the National Population Commission will be conducting a comprehensive population and housing census to generate reliable, sustainable, and up-to-date data needed for policy formulation, security, national planning, and development.
Population and housing census, it will make life better, eh? Because our government will the use of the
National Population and Housing Census 2023. It's your civic responsibility. Please support it. The 2023 Population and Housing Census is being conducted by the National Population Commission.
Personal Digital Assistants
PDAs will be deployed countrywide for the census exercise. Nigeria's 2023 Population and Housing Census. You count. Be counted.
Shey you know say na offense e be to do 2 or more business with 2 or more banks with the intention to avoid the duty of reporting the business arrangee. And if you no agree to tell the authority people, na crime. Shey you know say the law for Obodo Naija talk say person or corporate body must report any transfer of money to Naija or from Naija wey pass $10,000 to SCUMUL, CBN and Security and Exchange Commission in writing inside 1 day from the day wey una start the business. The report must show the nature and the amount wey you wan transfer, plus the name and address of the person wey go receive the money. SCUMUL tanda gidigba to protect Nigerian business area. This message na from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
In my family, everybody wants more.
More knowledge.
I just want more of anything that is good for my family. That is why I use Tasty Tom Enriched Tomato Mix. It's thick and gives my meals an appealing red color. It helps me cook delicious meals. And what's more, it's enriched with vitamins and fiber that are good for the body. What more could a mother want?
Please give me more.
Mommy, I want more.
It's time you try Tasty Tom Enriched Tomato Mix because it's enriched with vitamins and fiber. Tasty Tom for tasty meals good for you. Available in convenient sachets that are easy to open and easy to store.
Stubborn dark marks? Try new Nivea Lumina 630. Visibly reduces up to 10 years of stubborn dark marks in just 4 weeks. New Nivea Lumina 630. Get even and luminous skin.
The new Milo 3-in-1 Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. No need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish and energize your kids.
Milo! New So Clean Concentrated Detergent. 2 times the work, 2 times the speed, 2 times the strength. To win, we know what it takes. New So Clean 30% concentrated detergent. Now with 2 times the cleaning power. So Clean. For a faster, brighter, cleaner wash. With 2 times the cleaning power. So Clean, the official regional partner of Paris Saint-Germain.
Never again should this happen. We have passed through this path before, and it was not good for us. I remember the horror, the crying, the blood, dead bodies everywhere. I almost lost my mind. I could not sleep. I remember the cry of innocent children. Many lives were changed forever. We shall never go through that path again. Let us all stand in solidarity with our armed forces, our men and women, all who must stand in truth, in honesty, to build a vibrant nation, a nation that you and I can be proud of.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains removal. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning.
Wow, now I'm convinced, Helen Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
The next house is yours.
Thanks so much for staying. It is the seat of intelligence, interpretation of census, initiator of body movement, and controller of behaviors. However, it is easily damaged by habits such as too much sitting, lack of socialization, inadequate sleep, and chronic stress. Let's now join Uche Ugochukwu as she awakens our consciousness on the need to pay attention to the health of this critical organ of the body.
Sitting in its bony shell and washed by protective fluid, the brain, as per se, defines humanity.
Generally, the brain is in charge of the body. So in terms of health, it's very important that the brain is healthy.
Just like eating healthy and exercising, sleep is vital to the brain for one's physical, mental, and social well-being.
In terms of lifestyle, you need to rest the brain by way of sleeping. And that gives us some respite with the brain, and that will make us make the brain more functional.
Regular routine medical checkup is recommended by health experts, especially when it comes to the prevention and management of non-communicable diseases such as hypertension, diabetes, and cancer. Does this apply to brain health?
No. Consult your general practitioner, a GP, who will actually take a good history and do a further evaluation.
What should one look out for as warning signals from the brain?
Once someone develops that kind of excruciating headache, that usually comes when someone is just waking up. It's an early warning sign that there's a problem. When it now comes with vomiting and also with convulsion, may also just present with just a particular part of the body being weak or mouth deviation.
How informed are people about this?
Have you ever checked your brain?
My brain, no, I have not checked my brain, no.
Wow, that's a very long time.
Medical experts advise routine overall checkups. However, side caution is applied in conducting scans because of the multiple radiation, just as the MRI, which is considered as safer, is more expensive. Therefore, maintaining sleep hygiene is key to a healthy brain.
Sleep is very, very important. God has actually placed sleep to regulate your brain activity. If you look at it, when you're about falling asleep, all your body will relax.
Neurologists established that 7 to 9 hours night sleep a day, depending on age, is good for the brain. However, warned that regularly sleeping over 9 hours indicates an underlying health condition such as diabetes, depression, obesity, and heart disease, among others. I am Uche Ugochukwu, NTA News.
Well, very educating one there. I'm guilty of that lack of sleep thing. But it's good for us to always sleep and stay hydrated. Now, education is said to be the bedrock of any development, so its tertiary level has received unprecedented attention from the present administration. As parting gift, the present administration has now approved the disbursement of over 300 billion naira to public universities, polytechnics and colleges of education, the highest annual disbursement in the history of interventions for institutions. This was declared at the Tertiary Education Fund's 2023 Strategic Planning Workshop organized for heads of beneficiary institutions. Abdullahi Musa Suleja reports.
Established in 1993, Tertiary Education Fund (TED) Fund was known as Education Trust Fund (ETF) to, among others, intervene in academics, physical and other requirements of all tertiary and research institutions in the country, even though its mandate was later amended, leaving only government universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. Driving force to the fund is 2% tax collection by Federal Inland Revenue called Education Tax Fund, which the present regime increased from 2 to 2.5%.
Each university shall receive for the year 2023 1,154,732,133 naira. Each polytechnic shall get 699 million, while each college of education shall get 800,862,602 naira.
Funds will be used judiciously, and as we look forward to an increase in the tax, we pray that our educational system at the tertiary level will become better.
In all honesty, there is no agency in Nigeria, whether within education sector or outside education sector, that has created the same impact, positive impact on our society like the TED Fund.
I would like to really appreciate the significant improvements we are making in other interventions, especially on research.
The fund hopes to sustain improvement in performance across all sectors of development of the education sector. Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
Intent on promoting professional media practice by upholding ethical standards among practitioners, the Nigeria Press Organization has inaugurated a National Media Complaints Commission in Lagos. Adenitao reports that NTA's former Executive Director Programs, Eugenia Abu, is one of the 9 members commissioned.
As the fourth estate of the realm, which has a defined role of keeping the conscience of the society, the media has a duty to itself to operate above board at all times. The inauguration of the National Media Complaints Commission by the Nigeria Press Organization is the industry's own house-cleansing measure to watch the watchdog itself and promote professionalism. Headed by a former editor and managing director of the Guardian newspapers, Emeka Izeze, the 9-member commission is expected to serve as an independent forum for resolving complaints about the press promptly, fairly, and free of charge. President of the Nigeria Press Organization, Kabiru Yusuf, said the media helps itself when it upholds the right of people to know and seek redress when necessary.
This is not just about us, it is about the society. So we invite all stakeholders in the Nigerian project to support this initiative.
Acknowledging the onerous task of self-policing before the commission, its chairman said the ombudsman will at all times strike a balance between providing a fair platform for members of the society to seek redress without gagging the media.
We will attempt to do justice to your expectation and see how far we can go to help the media to operate professionally, to help the media to observe some of those rules that we drew up ourselves, and to help the media to be what this nation needs.
To encourage co-regulation of the media, members of the commission are drawn from civil society groups, the Nigerian Bar Association, media professional bodies, and the academia. In Lagos, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
Thank you so much, Adeni, for that. Now it's time for us to do business, and we have Musa Abubakar on Business News. Musa, over to you.
Thank you. The World Bank says growth across sub-Saharan Africa remains sluggish, dragged down by uncertainty in the global economy. The underperformance of the continent's largest economies, high inflation, and a sharp deceleration of investment growth. A report by the multilateral organization said Wednesday. It explained that in the face of dampened growth prospects and rising debt levels, African governments must sharpen their focus on macroeconomic stability, domestic revenue mobilization, debt reduction, and productive investment to reduce extreme poverty and boost shared prosperity in medium to long term. Economic growth in sub-Saharan Africa is set to slow from 3.6% in 2022 to 3.1% in 2023, according to latest Africa's Pulse, the World Bank's April 2023 economic update for sub-Saharan Africa. Economic activity in South Africa is set to weaken further in 2023 as the energy crisis deepens, while the growth recovery in Nigeria for 2023 at 2.8% is still fragile as oil production remains subdued. The real gross domestic product growth of the Western and Central African sub-region is estimated to decline to 3.4% in 2023 from 3.7% in 2022, while that of Eastern and Southern Africa declines to 3.0% in 2023 from 3.5% in 2022. Oil prices inched lower on Wednesday despite greater than expected draws in U.S. crude oil and fuel stocks as the market weighed worsening economic prospects against expectations of U.S. crude inventory declines and plans by OPEC Plus producers to reduce output. Reuters reports that Brent crude futures fell 49 cents or 0.6% to $84.45 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate crude U.S. Crude fell 58% or 0.7% to $80.13 a barrel. Crude inventories fell by a more than expected 3.7 million barrels in the last week to 470 million barrels, the Energy Information Administration said on Wednesday. As a negative close for-day equities market in Nigeria this Wednesday as the NGX All Share Index depreciated to close at 53,018.97 basis points from 54,035.39 points recorded on Tuesday. Investors exchanged 197 million shares valued at 2.6 billion in 3,506 deals. UBA led the activity chart and was followed by Transcorp and Zenith Bank. And that concludes business news. Fatima is back to you.
Thank you so much, Rosa. Abuja, the nation's capital, is a growing metropolitan space with its attendant consequences, including high cost of living and rent. This has prompted many in the Federal Capital Territory to be desirous of acquiring personal land, a development that has led some people cutting corners and becoming victims of unauthorized land agents. Tertiary Umar in this report takes a look at some consequences of land racketeering in the FCT.
It all begins and ends for many prospective land buyers who don't necessarily become landowners because the process of acquisition involves intrigues, speculations, verifications, and the ultimate allocation, all in a bid to get authentic title. These are some of the unfortunate ones who claim they have genuine land documents, and yet the evil eye of the law caught up with them. Where did he get it wrong?
The local land is approved by Gomo. Gomo signed the paper for the agreement. And he didn't tell you that this place is a aware.
Grace Gabson, a private developer in Abuja, says due diligence and due process is not an option. Some titles are still area council lands, and then some will have FCDA covered by C of O. So you go to the area council, you carry out your searches. If it's covered by C of O, you go to Aegis. The law says that ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
What is the role and how involved is the traditional institution in land acquisition in the FCT?
Anybody who is interested to get a genuine land must make sure he buys the form from the Aegis, fills the form, pays some amount of money, and then from there it's being processed, and then the minister, when the place is approved, the minister now gives allocation letter to either an individual or corporate organization. Anything outside that is termed as an illegal land.
With so many buildings demolished already for contravening the Abuja master plan, more will still be affected, according to the authorities.
There are proliferations of land grabbers and scammers around, so people should beware that whatever you want to do as regards to land transaction in the FCT, you must consult relevant authorities.
Even big estate developers are guilty of such. However, research shows that the demolition exercise has helped to curb flooding in some affected areas.
When we carried out the survey and the assessment, we discovered that most people built on the waterways. So we had to ask for political will, and the minister graciously granted that political will for us to remove any illegal structure that is blocking the waterways.
The demolition, according to authorities, is not to witch hunt anyone, but rather to give the FCT its pride of place, as there is no compensation except for those with genuine papers.
In Abuja, Tessie Omeri, NTA News.
Another breather beckons. Don't go away as we have more stories coming your way.
Of the summer, Okada seats feel like hot plates, and downfall buses feel like extremely hot ovens. Walking on the road feels like walking on hot coals.
How do I cope with this heat?
And how do I cope with that bad odor?
By staying 5 degrees cooler.
Body odor is caused by germs, and on hot days, the sweating and the odor are more. That's why you need to get the new improved Dettol Cool Soap, which offers up to 5 degrees instant cooling sensation and protects you from 99.9% odor-causing germs. Dettol 5-Degree Cool Soap is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
The new Milo 3-in-1 Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. No need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish and energize your kids.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains removal. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning.
Wow! Now I'm convinced, Helen Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
The next house is yours.
Like a bird needs wings to fly, you need skills to be productive. No matter the level of your education, ITF can train you to acquire skills in areas like mechatronics, metal machining, facility technology, electronics and computer networking, information and communication technology, ICT, culinary art, and agriculture. Acquire a skill and transform yourself from being unemployed to becoming even an employer. Be a valuable Nigerian youth. Say no to unemployment and poverty.
Oh, I'll spread my wings and fly so high. I'll reach for the stars, yeah, it's time.
Industrial Training Fund, developing the nation's human resource.
My name is Abimbola Majokudumonokoya, and I'm from Abeokuta, Ogun State. Actually, I just got here coming from United States as a frequent flyer into Nigeria. I've never been to this airport. I've kind of heard about it, but I've never seen it. So when I came out from the airport, I was kind of disoriented a little bit, like what's going on here?
I'm Comrade Derigo Ahidiame. I'm from Edo State, Nigeria.
I'm coming from a trip. I've passed through so many African countries before getting to this place. When I saw Nigeria airport, I marveled.
So I just want to commend the work that's been done here. It's a beautiful place. I mean, I made quite some videos and pictures, unlike the other airport.
Kudos to the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari.
And I give it up to Buhari for giving us this beautiful airport. I hope the maintenance culture kicks in.
Men do not like overconfident women.
Don't touch me without my permission.
I'm a playful guy and I do get carried away sometimes.
You are selfish, manipulative, and you are a narcissist.
After all I've done for you.
What have you done for me?
She called me barren.
You know my mom doesn't know any better, right?
You say that now, but then when you see your mother, you start to act like you're deaf and dumb.
You were supposed to be more careful.
I've been.
Clearly not enough.
Thanks so much for being there. Slow and steady wins the race. So says an adage that perhaps best describes the situation of women in Nigeria. Gradually and unwavering, the Nigerian women say they are determined to conquer all fears and be masters in all spheres. Wamsode Mendati reports that the 2023 National Women's Conference held in Abuja was a platform to reaffirm this resolve. Let's hear the gist.
Women from different walks of life find their way to the NAF Conference Center, Abuja.
We'll sing out now for justice and development.
The event is the National Women's Conference. The first Nigerian to be elected president of Medical Women's International Association, Dr. Eleanor, gallantly joins the multitude.
When you have more women in digital technology, the perspectives of women are taken into account. Technological instruments in the world of medicine that are not suited for women, like the mammogram machine, designed by men in a way that makes it excruciatingly painful for a woman to test for breast cancer. When you have a woman's perspective, she will know a pain-free technique to design something that suits her biology.
Beyond the regular politics, governance and equality chants, the women are set to explore their prowess in inclusive technology and digital education for gender equality and empowerment, driven by the Ministry of Women Affairs.
On how innovation and technology contributes to our society in shaping the digital space and gender inequality in our society. When we talk of empowering a woman, the first empowerment is education. An educated woman is an empowered woman.
So we must therefore harness the potential of technology and digital innovations to advance gender equality and women's empowerment in a way that is inclusive of women from all backgrounds.
Yes, it's not just talk as usual. This year's conference is evidently backed by scientific and technological innovations by women.
We do digital training, that's computer coding, software programming.
Household air pollution is one of the largest killers of women and silent killers of women in Nigeria. And so we have this technology so that they can have a healthier cooking experience.
Kemi Bolarinwa, the inventor of a smart bra for early detection of cancer, is one amongst many women honored for diverse outstanding inventions in science and technology. Mamso Damien Dati, NTA News.
Interesting, beautiful Nigerian women there. I salute all Nigerian women out there. Now, let's talk sports. Traditional wrestlers from across the ECOWAS community came, saw, and some conquered in the ECOWAS traditional wrestling tournament in Niger. Abdullahi Mohammed reports that activities off the ring held many spellbound.
It was an under-the-moonlight activity, the pride of African villages and communities. The 14 flags here taken across borders, Niger Republic hosting the tournament powered by the economic communities of West African states, ECOWAS, for the 12th time.
So we think that overall, over the last 10-15 years, the game has improved, quality has improved,
the understanding of the game by both athletes and their coaches has also improved. So we think that we are getting there gradually.
Going forward, what are expectations?
One of the main objectives we are looking at now is perhaps introduce the female component of the tournament.
Musical icons were first in the ring to set the tune. What keeps the wrestlers on their feet were the local drummers. It is a ground where the boys will have to leave for the men, so each came with customs and traditions. Rituals were in variety, invoking the strength of the unseen. Yet some put all their eggs in a basket above the skies. And the clowns mimicking the wins and losses. It took 3 days for those left to bid their chest emerge, and the squeezes for the last drops in the calabash of victory for tight clashes. At last, champions were made, but most importantly, relationships were ignited.
From this tournament, we've made friends, people that you never have met before. You've met together and you never know where you're going to meet them again.
Bring then the countries under the ECOWAS closer with high hopes of watching the African wrestlers feature in the Olympics. In Abuja, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
Thank you so much, Abdullahi. Now, Nigeria League champions Rivers United drawn against Young Africans of Tanzania in CAF Confederation Cup quarter-final. On a day, Nigeria Professional Football League side Remo Stars are sanctioned for misconduct. Ayodeji Makinde has more on Sports Update.
Remo Stars have dropped to 5th from 3rd position on Group A log of the Nigeria Professional Football League after the interim management committee of the league docked them 3 points and 3 goals for assaulting a match official during a match day 12 encounter against Gombe United. The IMC found the club guilty of breaches of extant provisions guiding the operation of the league with a fine of 500,000 naira, while the referee in the BC UKA is to be paid 250,000 naira in compensation, with Remo Stars manager Ekene Adams banned till the end of the season and ordered to be prosecuted for his unprofessional conduct in the court of law.
IMC is not here to play. They mean business, and they're going to sanction any team that try to bend the rules by assaulting referees. You cannot. Football is about either win, draw, or lose. So when you're not winning, you should take loss into your hand.
The match, which held on April 2, was abandoned but later concluded on April 3 and ended goalless. Away from football, the first golf major of the year tees off Thursday at Augusta with spotlight on the activities of LIV Golf Tournament players who defected from the USPGA. Golf world number 1 and defending champion Scotty Scheffler is up against a strong field of contenders, including Saudi Arabia-backed LIV Golf stars in Phil Mickelson and Brooks Koepka. The 87th edition of the Masters holds at the Augusta National Golf Club in Georgia, USA. With sports updates, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
Well, Sports Update concludes News Extra for tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of it. But before we go, a quick reminder that Census is 28 days to go. You count. Be counted. I am Fatima Umar Buba. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the You Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.